Hello, good afternoon, everyone. If there is any teacher in the attendees list, please raise your hand so that we can promote you as a panelist. Deepti ma'am, shall we wait for some more time?
Yeah, we may wait for 5 minutes. If there is any teacher in the attendees here for the presentation, please raise your hand. We'll make you a panelist.
Tanuja ma'am, you will be representing which department?
Statistics.
Ma'am, can we begin? Or-
Yes, we can start.
Okay. So, good afternoon, everyone. Today we have all assembled here to have the VAC orientations, the for semester 1 students. In continuation with the previous 2 days, wherein we have had the GE1 orientations and the SEC1 orientations, today we are going to have the orientations by different departments about their VAC papers for semester 1 students. So, to start with, may I invite Dr. Deepti Jain, who is the Criteria 1 coordinator and also the VAC nodal officer of the college, to enlighten the students about the VAC courses and how they can, make an informed choice regarding the VAC options that they have from different departments. Ma'am, please.
Thank you, Dr. Sunita. On behalf of IQAC, I extend a very warm welcome to all the teachers and all the first year students who have joined us in this orientation program for VAC courses. VAC stands for Value Addition Courses for first semester students. So students, these VAC courses, they seek to fulfill the mandate of providing holistic education to the students as outlined in the National Education Policy 2020. These courses will introduce you to the rich heritage of the nation as well as to important social concerns of the current times. Designed to ignite the intellectual curiosity of the learners, these courses will inspire and guide you in your journey of personal and professional development, making you thoughtful, well-rounded, and creative individuals with a sense of service and responsibility towards the nation. All students who pursue any undergraduate program from this college, in the first semester, you are offered with a pool of value addition courses from which you have to choose one to study in the first semester. You have to study one VAC course, value addition course, in the first 4 semesters of your UG curriculum. The University of Delhi has outlined 26 courses under VAC, and in this semester, the college is offering 13 VACs to the first semester students. All these VACs are department independent. So don't go for the department, go for the title of the paper. Look at the syllabus. Syllabus is uploaded on the college website. Syllabus link will be provided on ERP portal. And in today's orientation, various teachers who will be teaching these VAC courses will give you a brief idea about the theme of the paper, how you will go about it, what to expect in which paper. You will get the idea of that. So after attending this orientation program, you shortlist 3 VACs which you would like to study in this first semester. Arrange them in order of preference, and you need to fill your choices on the ERP portal. On this weekend, you will be receiving your ERP login credentials along with the address of the cloud space of the college, which is ERP. You need to fill your choices, 3 choices in order of preference. We would like to, allocate your first preference, but maybe due to some constraint, infrastructure constraint or non-availability of the paper later, because it was not opted by an optimal number of students, we may discontinue the paper. So in that scenario, we'll look for your second and your third preference. So fill second and third preference also with after giving a good thought to your choices. All these courses are department independent. Department history, chemistry has no role in that. Only the individual teacher, and look for the title and the syllabus of the paper if that appeals to you. Further, if you wish to choose a paper which is not being offered by the college and it is listed in the University of Delhi VAC courses list, then you may apply for a cluster college. Only then you apply for a cluster college. When you will be filling the ERP, your choices on the ERP portal, there will be a question and we will ask you whether you would like to go for a cluster college. If you wish to choose a paper which is not being offered by the college, you want to study that. And if you say yes, then your allocation will be done by the cluster coordinator, not by the college. And your case will be put on hold on the portal. All right. So please be mindful while filling the form. If you are saying yes, your case will be put on hold and a cluster college will be allocated to you. Even if you choose yes for cluster, we will further ask you to give your 3 preferences for VAC in case a cluster college is not being allocated to you. All right. So, sorry. If you think that you have given preferences for college and if you say yes to cluster, both things will not work. When you will drop your choice from the cluster, then only the college will allocate you a VAC course from the college itself. So I hope it is clear. Now we may proceed with the paper-wise presentation where you will get to know the theme and the idea of these value addition courses. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. I hope these students might have gotten, insight into like what they have to, how they have to proceed on the ERP portal and how they have to go about choosing the VAC papers. In case you have any doubts, you can write in the question answer box and we may try to, answer all the queries maybe in between or during the end of the session. So starting with the presentations, I would invite Botany Department, Dr. Krishna Kumar, to give the presentation on VAC paper, Ayurveda and Nutrition. Sir.
Okay. I think slide is visible now.
Yes, sir. The slide is visible.
Okay. Good afternoon to everyone. Myself, Dr. G. Krishna Kumar, Assistant Professor in the Department of Botany. The Botany Department offered Ayurveda and Nutrition for VAC-I courses. So why choose the Ayurveda and Nutrition paper? It is a natural and holistic approach. It gives an immense popularity. While using this Ayurveda and Nutrition, 0 side effects will be that much of quality we need. So why should you opt for this course? Means to know the healthy and balanced dietary guidelines, home remedies, daily and seasonal routines will make you for knowing of the Ayurveda and nutrition. And also to know the traditional and holistic approaches over the conventional ones. This thing also we know. This paper having 2 credits, 1 lecture and 1 practical. Only 1 theory exam is there. Practical is going to continuous assessment. So there is only 2 credits. The syllabus, going to the syllabus, 3 units in the theory and few in practicals. Unit 1 having introduction to Ayurvedic nutrition. Into this, we know the Ayurveda and Indian food culture and nutrition lifestyle. That means past in nutrition lifestyle also we discuss, and regional food traditions of India also will be discussed. Second unit, basic principles of food and nutrition in Ayurveda. In this unit, we know the rich sources of nutrients and also concepts, various concepts in Ayurveda and nutrition principles. And Ayurvedic principles also will be known. And also we know the FSSA regulations. It is a very important nowadays to know the food values. And unit 3, it knows the Ayurvedic diet. That means the principles of main diet. Is there any incompatible food, lifestyle management, and applications of the Ayurvedic diet. This regarding is theory going on, very simple. 3 units are there. Among this only theory exam will come. And let me know the practical, the few things will be done in the way of the practical to classify the available food items and also to conduct the survey and to visit the e-resources to know the Ayurveda and nutrition. And also students may experience from audio-visual presentation. Like this, only a few practicals are there. After the completion of this paper, to know the paper, you get the awareness of traditional food culture of India, to evaluate changing of food pattern from nowadays to past, and also understand the Indian food system knowledge, and it is applied to the traditional diets for our healthy and disease cure, to prepare healthy Ayurveda recipes. But also not only the learning outcomes, but also it is a best way of the career opportunities to become an entrepreneur in the Ayurvedic industry, to become it given a very good Ayurvedic health and wellness professionals, to launching your own product in a healthy line, to becoming a healing therapist, to build a own wellness center, and mainly in the who are the interest on the research, it is going to well in research area. So that is the thing. Further details, please contact gkkumar@svc.ac.in and the contact number, and also comes to department TAC. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. May we have the next department? I think the history department teacher is not able to present today, maybe. I'll share the details of the paper that the history department is going to present in the chat box. In case of any query, you may go and visit the history department, contact the teacher in charge there, Dr. Nuti Namita. Okay, she is going to take that paper on the constitutional values and fundamental duties. So I'll be sharing the details of the paper and the TIC details in the chat box. Okay. The next department is Department of Electronics. Dr. Rakhi Narang is going to present from the Department of Electronics. Ma'am.
I'm just sharing this. I hope the slides are visible. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Okay. So a very good afternoon to everyone. The Department of Electronics is offering digital empowerment as their value addition course in semester 1 students. Now, the credit distribution for the paper is of 2 credits with 4 hours of practical classes. The eligibility criteria is simple. The student should have passed class 12 exam, and there is no prerequisite for this particular paper. Now, the learning objectives for this paper are: why do we actually need digital empowerment, and what is the need of digital world altogether, or all the technologies that we are using, the information communication technology tools that we are using currently? What is the need for learning about cybersecurity and exploring the cyberspace, collaborating on the social media through different applications, and communicating in the cyberspace? And the learning outcomes are you will be made aware of different ICT tools, different social media platforms, digital services offered by the Government of India and other digital services as well. What are the different teaching learning tools which are available online, and how do we uh, use our data, or how should we protect our data that is available on the digital platforms or the social media platforms? What are the ethical issues which are involved, and how can we remain secure in this digital world? Now, the course outline is such that there are 4 units to be covered across the syllabus, where the first unit will talk about the digital inclusion and digital empowerment, where we will be learning a lot about different platforms like digital DigiLocker, Bheem application, EPG Pathshala, RTI filing, income tax filing, all these and more than this. In the second unit, we'll talk about and we'll learn about communication and collaboration in the cyberspace, where we will learn more about usage of social media effectively, how to use different emailing platforms, how do we access the blogs or write the blogs, file sharing through the different applications like Google Drive, etc., video conferencing tools like Zoom, Google, and then in unit 3, we will be it will be devoted to cyberspace and cybersecurity. How we can, it will deal with ethical issues where we can learn to be secure from different cyber attacks, because nowadays it is very prevalent. Different types of cyber attacks are taking place on big companies, right? And how can we protect our own personal data and sensitive details? How should online privacy is very, very important. So what are the different threats and how we can deal with those threats? That will be taught in unit 3. And in 4th, we will learn more about ethical issues in the digital world. So in all, you can expect a lot more from this paper, because it is more of a practical paper rather than a theoretical paper, because as you can see that the credit distribution is such that there will be 4 practical classes. So there will be a lot of activities, demonstrations, and you will learn a lot about different platforms or websites or government initiatives which you may not be knowing. And there will be some fieldwork also. There will be different, you can say, assignments which will be done through field works. And you may be asked to even spread this digital literacy or awareness to your peers or to your neighbors as well. So this paper will be taught by 2 teachers from Department of Electronics, that is Dr. Hari Singh and Dr. Hina Yadav. Their contact details I have mentioned. So you can reach out to any of these for further information, or you can also contact the TIC of the department through the department email address, which is mentioned in the slide. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Do we have anyone from Department of Physics as well for the presentation? Okay, so in that case, we have Department of Political Science, who is going to present the VAC-I paper from their department. Latika, ma'am.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Thank you so much. So the Department of Political Science is actually presenting a paper, putting forward a paper called Constitutional Values and Fundamental Duties. Along with Political Science Department, the History Department is also putting forward the same paper. The paper constitutes 2 credits, 1 lecture and 1 practical. To understand the Constitution, I mean, when you are living in a country, it is vital to actually understand what is the Constitution. A Constitution basically lays down the fundamental rules in which someone is supposed to live in a proper country? How is the country coming about? So the paper actually talks about how did India come to have the constitution, as to where did we actually pick the constitution from. So we have taken different places, from different places, Irish constitution, the German constitution. We've taken different ideas and values from all the constitution, and the Indian constitution is exemplary in itself, because the founding fathers, while they were making the constitution, the idea was to bring about political revolution. And not just that, along with political revolution was to take into consideration the social revolution, which is to actually take into consideration the intersectional geographical condition of India, along with different communities, the marginalized communities, the religion, everything that has to be considered. So the constitutional values basically speak about equality, fraternity, empathy, human dignity. These are very vital for every constitution. And most importantly, what are you if you're not a citizen of a country? Your whole identity is based on a certain country, and the constitution lays down that foundation. So in this paper, the Department of Political Science is actually laying forward and trying to make the student comprehend what constitutes a federal republic, how is sovereignty understood, how is socialism laid down in our constitution, what constitutes democracy, how did we come about secularism, the Sarva Dharma Samabhava. These are important units when you actually try and understand what constitutes a constitution. How do we actually follow it? While we were taking into consideration, there were making the constitution, there were values which were very important that we took from our founding fathers. The Gandhian values have been laid down in directive principles. Then Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar put forward this whole was a chairperson of the drafting committee. And while making the constitution, he very empathetically said what constitutes a constitution. And importantly, that every person should have something what is called constitutionalism, as in the values of a constitution needs to be put forward in every human being to actually understand what constitutes secularism. So this is something which is very vital in understanding politics, sociology, history, or any other study. When you actually understand that you are a citizen of a country, how is that constitution at functioning? So while studying all this, also there's an important part that we actually try and understand, that how is the Supreme Court how was the Supreme Court made? What is the role of the Supreme Court? Every time there's a law that is actually made by the government, how far the Supreme Court can make a stand? And for this, we have a very important aspect in our constitution that constitutes the fundamental rights. Fundamental rights are actually called the negative rights, as in the state cannot interfere in your rights. But of course, there are certain clauses for that as well. So you understand, when you're looking at justice, the justice system is actually set up to actually encompass the social, political, economical understanding of the society. Again, when we talk about values, we're actually looking at the values called equality, fraternity, liberty. What is liberty? Because everyone is talking about liberty. And in philosophy, we try to understand what constitutes a free will. So this paper has been brilliantly structured to actually encompass and understand the constitutional values, and most importantly, the fundamental duties. We have 11 fundamental duties that every individual and every organization should actually follow while living under the state. So this paper has been structured for a student to actually understand and comprehend the values politically, socially, economically in the Indian state. And most importantly, the students who actually take this paper will actually understand the politics that led to the structure and making of the Constitution, and how empathy has taken a very strong hold in our Indian Constitution. So, of course, when we look at the fundamental values, the constitutional values, we have these amazing practicals also, where we actually encourage students to actually look around what is going on in the society, how you can actually relate it to the laws, rule of law that is actually laid by the Constitution. Do you think something is wrong? Do you think something is right? What is the Constitution talking about it? So these are amazing things and that you can actually understand academically. And there are students I have noticed who actually want to go ahead with the UPSC exams also. So this paper is a brilliant study of actually going ahead into your understandings of the UPSC as well. So I would like to thank everyone. So I hope you can look forward to the paper. The person to be contacted for the paper is Dr. Haukum Waifei. He's the department head of political science, and we look forward to hearing from you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you, ma'am. Ma'am, can you please post the details of the paper in the chat box along with the contact details of the teacher concerned so that
Yes, yes.
students can know of? Thank
The
you.
Department of History is also offering the same paper.
Yes, right. That we have posted in the chat box.
Yes, yes, I will do that.
So the
Thank you.
details only from your department. That's it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
Yes,
you.
yes.
Thank you, Dr. Latika, for giving such a beautiful overview of the paper. So students are sending
Thank
in
you so
some,
much.
yeah.
Thank you. Yes.
Students are sending in some queries regarding the eligibility criteria of the papers and how to fill the form if same paper is offered by two departments. So students, I want to make one thing clear here that there is no eligibility criteria in any of the VAC paper except NCC paper. NCC paper is offered to only NCC cadets enrolled at our college. Only and only eligibility criteria for NCC paper. For other paper, there is no eligibility criteria. Whether you have done your class 12 from humanities, commerce, or science background, you can choose any of the papers. And if the paper, the constitutional values and fundamental duties is offered by two departments, then how to fill the form? In the form, you will be seeing only the list of the papers, irrespective of which department is offering or how many departments are offering. Okay, so we'll make sections, and which section will be allocated to which department, we cannot say. You have to choose only the title of the paper. There is no choice of department. In SEC also, in VAC, in both the things, all these papers are department independent. You have to just choose the title of the paper. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. We have Dr. Sumit Raj from the Department of Zoology. He's going to present the VAC-I paper from their department, which is Emotional Intelligence. Sir? Meanwhile, when sir is presenting, if there is any teacher in the participants list, please raise your hand so that we can promote you as a panelist. Thank you. Sir, your slide is visible. Yeah.
So here our geology department is providing emotional intelligence as value added course, and in this course we deal. It is a 2 credit course, and with the practical component. So in this we generally provide there are 4 quadrants. The entire course has been divided into 4 quadrants. Quadrant 1 is about the emotional self-awareness, that who am I and what are my potential areas of development. Social awareness, how can I transcend my perspective so that I can understand and value others. How we can control our emotions, and what are the applications of this emotional intelligence. So basically we have the emotional intelligence what is this? This is understanding of the emotions and their impacts on self and the society, understanding the relevance of emotional intelligence vis-a-vis intellectual intelligence, and emotional intelligence is related to personal competence and social competence. So it has a different components. So we will be dealing with the self-awareness, self-regulation, and how to motivate each other, empathy, to create empathy, and the social skills. So basically there is one research in which it was shown at UC Berkeley that a research of over 40 years, that the skill emotional intelligence, the people who have taken the course of emotional intelligence are 4 times more powerful in IQ in predicting success. An internal study by the PepsiCo revealed that the persons with high emotional intelligence levels outperforms the annual target by 15 to 20%. And according to the study by Motorola on SHRM, 93% of the employees at a Motorola plant became more productive after adopting different emotional intelligence programs. So actually, this is in 2021, it is emotional intelligence is a top 10 job skill that is required in managing the work pressure. So generally it was seen that most people are hired for their intellect and business expertise, but they are fired for the lack of emotional intelligence, that is how to cope up with the work pressure. So in this we will be dealing with the self-awareness. The course component is the intrapersonal skill and interpersonal skill, in which we will be going in depth of the self-awareness about the emotions, self-management, and how to self-perform, how to increase our own performance in this. Whereas in the interpersonal skills, we will see the social awareness, relationship management, and how to lead a team and make the team more productive with the certain skills. So the emotional intelligence in the professional life, effective leaders with high emotional intelligence can inspire and motivate their team, handle stressful situations with competence, and foster a positive work environment. Emotional intelligence is critical for being a dynamic leader. So there has been the study, a lot of research has been done on emotional intelligence. The people with low emotional intelligence and the people who have taken the course and having high emotional intelligence. So there are a lot of work pressure differences, and the mental attitude differences has been seen in them. And the people who have the high emotional intelligence are more successful. So the emotional intelligence, it is also in the workplace. Emotional intelligence teaches us in the conflict resolution. So emotional intelligence plays a vital role in conflict resolution by promoting empathetic understanding, facilitating negotiation, and fostering collaborative problem solving. It enables individuals to navigate conflict with empathy and diplomacy. So we can conclude that mastering emotional intelligence is instrumental in achieving professional success. By understanding and harnessing the power of emotions, individuals and elevate their leadership abilities and cultivate positive relationship in the workplace. So emotional intelligence, we will be dealing that under any conditions that you face in your day-to-day life, how to control your own emotions, how to be more predictive, how to communicate, what kinds of communication skills you should be using in in the making relationship in the work sphere, as well as to be empathetic with the persons around you, and that's a leader needs to be. as well as we will be how to measure one's emotional intelligence, if in the how to measure it, and how to increase it with the time. So this is all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for a wonderful presentation. Next, we have the Department of Sociology. They're offering the VAC-I paper on ethics and culture. Anyone here who is representing the Department of Sociology? Sumit sir, you may please stop sharing the screen. Okay, I think Sociology Department, I can't hear. Next, we have the VAC paper on financial literacy, which is being offered by 3 departments: Department of Commerce, Economics, and Statistics. Brahma Reddy sir is here to present on this VAC paper, financial literacy.
Yeah, very good afternoon. Thank you, Dr. Sunita. Can I share, the document? I don't have any PPT.
Okay, sir, please share. You can share.
Okay, so first I should go to share, green arrow button.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes.
then share what? Screen or document? I can
Entire
share the screen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then click on
Now,
the document that you want to share, sir.
can you see the
Yes, sir, I
document?
can see. VAC-I
Yeah.
financial literacy.
Thank you so much. In fact, only 5 minutes ago, I contacted Dr. Deepthi, VAC in semester 1 for the first time, and 2 other departments also bring the same VAC. The financial literacy, as it indicates, it is about being literate about the financial matters. The course has 2 credits. One is lecture, other one is practical. As the coordinator have said at the beginning, there is no prerequisite of the course. Everyone is eligible to do this financial literacy VAC course. The learning objectives, as you can see here, one, familiarity with the different aspects of financial literacy, such as savings, investment, taxation, and insurance, and understanding the relevance and process of financial planning. So what is financial planning? How we manage our income and expenditure throughout our lifetime. That is financial planning. Right now, you all are students. Maybe after you all pass out from the college, after 4 years, many of you may get into a job. Many may go for post-graduation. After that, you will get into a job and your financial journey starts. You start earning money. How to spend that money prudentially, how much to save, and where to save, and for what purpose we save our income. We usually save income to meet our goals of buying a house, education of children, meeting some unforeseen contingencies, and retirement planning. We have to have sufficient retirement corpus when we retire. That is, when we stop working, there is no regular flow of income. Then how are we going to survive? Therefore, you have to make some good corpus during your working life. And the course aims to promote financial well-being. The learning outcomes are, that means at the end of this VAC course, you will develop proficiency for personal and financial planning, not only your personal financial planning, but also family. Why we have to consider family? Because see, you may be working and also your spouse also may be working. So now you have to take the entire family as an unit, because there is income flowing from, both the, wife and husband, and you have got now common goals. So there is a need for family financial planning. And what is investment planning? So you saved money. Where to invest that money? Should you make a fixed deposit in a bank, which everyone thinks very safe? I have come across a report recently in the newspaper, which says that more than 50% of the fixed deposits made in India's banking sector belongs to senior citizens. Very interesting, finding, which means our senior citizens are not, wanting to take any risk. You will also be learning about how to analyze banking and insurance products, various types of banking products and insurance products, and how you do efficient personal tax planning. Tax planning means how you can minimize your tax burden by saving money efficiently. The various units we have in this course are financial planning and financial products. That is unit number 1, where you will be introduced to what is saving and what is the time value of money. That is 100 rupees today is not equivalent to 100 rupees in an year after. Precisely because the 100 rupees today would buy some goods, the same 100 rupees after a year will not buy the same good, precisely because inflation. So we need to know what is the time value of money, management of spending and financial discipline. During your orientation, our college authorities have stressed the need for discipline. Now we are introducing here another aspect of overall discipline, that is financial discipline. If you spend money recklessly, you know what is going to happen. Yourself and your family will end up in financial troubles. So how we can be disciplined financially. Then the banking and digital payments. Today is an era of digital world, and digital payments have become as an integral part of our life. You all must be using various types of digital payments like Google Pay and so on, which is reducing the need for cash. In olden days, not olden days, even just 20-30 years ago, people have to carry cash all the time to make payments. That's very inconvenient. Not only inconvenient, but also the money may be subject to theft. Today, we have one of the safest digital payment ecosystem in our country. Our digital payment system is most efficient, one of the best when compared with even advanced countries like the United States, Germany, UK, and so on. So in Unit 2, you'll be introduced to banking and the digital payments. And in Unit 3, investment planning and management, how you invest your money, which will give you better returns, keeping in mind the appetite for risk, how much risk you want to take. And as you're aware, higher risk will give higher returns. Higher returns are associated usually with a higher amount of risk. As I said, 50% of the FDs in today's banks are made by senior citizens. It indicates that our senior citizens do not want to take any risk for a variety of reasons. And Unit 4 is about personal tax. As you know, that governments have to fund a lot of expenditure for welfare schemes, for infrastructure. So they impose taxes. They impose taxes on whom? Persons. So we pay personal income tax, apart from tax on goods and services, which we call GST. So in personal tax, we will introduce you to India's income taxation system and how it evolved, what kind of exemptions and deductions individuals can claim, which will reduce their tax burden, and how do you file your returns, income tax returns. These topics will be discussed in personal tax. And it has a practical component. As I said, it's a 2-credit course, 1 lecture and 1 practical. 1 practical is equal to 2 hours of practical. I will be, taking you to various financial institutions, including banks, post offices, to expose you to the ground realities, a kind of field visit to enrich your subject knowledge. So this is all about financial literacy. I welcome you all to our course of financial literacy. I am sure that you all are going to enjoy this course. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for an elaborate presentation. Next, we have the Department of Hindi. Anyone here who is representing the Department of Hindi? the VAC-I paper on Sahitya, Sanskriti or Cinema, offered by the Department of Hindi. Okay, meanwhile, I may call the next department, the Department of Chemistry, who is offering the VAC-I paper on Science and Society. Dr. Rekha Yadav is going to present from the Department of Chemistry. Ma'am, please.
Hello, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
I hope my screen is also visible.
Yes, the screen is also visible.
Thank you. So good afternoon all. Department of Chemistry is offering VAC, that is Science and Society for semester 1 students. So if you look into the structure of the paper, it is a 2-credit paper. 1 credit is for lecture and 1 is practical. So it means you need to attend practical. There are no prerequisites. So the learning outcome, the learning objective for this paper is to increase your awareness towards these scientific concepts that play a very important role in day-to-day life. So in this paper, 2 units, methods which were initially, what are the myths, what are the facts. In this unit, we are going to discuss all about it. Then comes the science, technology, and practices. So in the ancient times, how the water system was there, how the medicine was developed at that time, what were the different techniques which were used in farming, and uh, what are the different and eco-friendly designs that were used at that time. Then we will move to the modern times, and we will see the green revolution, the nutrition, the IT regulations which are used, e-governance, renewable energy, clean energy. In unit 2, that is scientific principles and concepts in daily life, it is more like an and case study based unit. So we will be having different case studies in which you will observe, you will analyze the data, and we will have a group discussions on it. The another part of it, I said, as I told you, that it is 1 credit is for theory, 1 is for practical. So in practical, you will be doing hands-on, that is like observing the transpiration and photosynthesis, knowing about the science of white light, so how the light spreads, why we see the colors in the rainbow, lens, mirrors, human eyes, how a mosquito floats on water, surface tension, viscosity. If we take some food, our body do not go like if we are taking something acidic, our body is not acidic at that time, so how our body manages it. So we will be studying, so if we have a food item or any juice, whether it is acidic, alkaline in nature, and why our body do not change the pH when we take or when we consume that food item. So these are the things which we will be going to study in this paper. It is mostly a basic interdisciplinary paper, and uh, when you will take this paper, you will be able to. Main aim for this paper is to get a exposure to the scientific methods which were used in the ancient times, and they are being followed as a tradition. So we are also uh, using those methods and those techniques as traditions, but we are not aware that these are the scientific methods, and they have scientific proofs to support them. So you are all welcome to join the course. And if you have any queries, you can contact me, or you can also contact the department DIs. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Next, we have the Department of English. The Department of English is offering the
Yes.
VAC-I paper on art of being happy.
Hello,
Yeah.
good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Good afternoon. We can hear you, sir. Please
Okay.
go ahead.
Yeah, I'll just share my screen. Yeah, so the paper that the Department of English is offering this semester for semester 1 students is called The Art of Being Happy. The credit distribution is 1+1. There's going to be one practical and one lecture spread throughout the week. Prerequisite, there's no prerequisite as such. It's the same as it is for the other papers for the other departments. Anybody can come, everybody can join the paper. The learning objectives are to synthesize insights developed by human development experts, psychologists, anthropologists on one hand, and different intellectual traditions on the other hand, towards the experience of happiness, and to also illustrate various factors that determine the subjective experience of happiness in a cross culture, basically to see how happiness also has a different meaning in different cultures and how some things are to be seen as, creating a sensory perception of happiness in one culture, and how there's also this hierarchy of East versus West in terms of happiness. When you look at it, particularly in terms of the happiness index, which is taken out every year by the West, where India and other South Asian countries are also generally positioned really low on those rankings. So, but those rankings, how do they work? What are the factors that they're looking at? Sometimes they don't always adhere to the kind of principles that countries in the East might adhere to. Some certain principles, for example, the family unit or socialization, the kind of things which are not necessarily there as part of culture in the West. So we'll be looking at the idea of happiness from this cross-cultural perspective, and also to see uh, and we'll also try to see how happiness can be seen or can be different from something like joy or something like a state of bliss. So how do you see, is happiness transitory, or can it also be sustained for a longer time? These are some of the factors that we'll be discussing, but also we'll be discussing how one of the important things that we do discuss in this paper is how happiness is to be seen in terms of money and morality also. Because a lot of times people think that more money coming in would mean more happiness. But is that always the case? Is that necessarily the case? Is something that we'll be discussing with the student. Because if you are going by that logic of more money equaling more happiness, then you might also be flexible, become more flexible on the perspective of morality. Then you might think that morality can also be changed accordingly if you want to make more money, resulting into more happiness. So that's something that also needs to be taken into perspective. There are 4 units to this paper. The first is Human Ecology and Happiness lectures, which includes the definitions of happiness, environmental and social, physical, emotional, and psychological well-being for happiness, uh, and physiological and hormonal basis of happiness, including coping with stress. Then there's the unit 2, which includes Indological theories of happiness, which talk about yogic philosophy and how in our own native, what is the native idea, basically, what is the Indian idea of happiness, and how do we achieve it with a lot of things like diet, mental peace, and also sociological factors, but also trying to cope with it internally. So there's also the idea of punch post theory and idea of well-being, ideas of self and the other, hierarchy and stages of happiness. And then you have the unit 3, which is cross-cultural contexts of happiness, culture and happiness, interpersonal relationship, comparative perspective, and towards self-actualization. And then in the last unit, you have local and global perspective of happiness, measuring happiness and key indicators. Like I mentioned, how do we see happiness in terms of different cultures and also different indicators, and also these lists that come out every year of uh, happiness index. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you. You can contact either me, or you can also contact the department head. I'll leave the details in the chat box so that you can, in case of any queries, you can reach out to us and the department. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Um, Students, Google link has been circulated in the chat box. Please fill this link for the attendance and feedback form. Okay. All of you must fill this form. Next, we have Department of Mathematics. The paper being offered by the Department of Mathematics in this semester, semester 1, is Vedic Mathematics 1.
Students, the teacher who will be teaching this paper is unable to join. So I'll just give you a glimpse of what the theme of the paper. Let me just share the screen. I hope you can see the screen now.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay, so Vedic Mathematics, this is a 2-credit paper. All VACs are 2-credit paper. Here, 1 credit is for lecture and 1 credit is for practical. It has, you do not need to pass 12th class with mathematics to study this paper. There is no such condition. So this paper is about learning some logical and reasoning skills. We will also discuss in this paper the rich heritage of mathematical temper of ancient India, how they will be using some sutras and upsutras to solve and do calculations. So it is to promote promote love for mathematics, and if you have developed any fear, to remove that fear, this paper has been introduced. It has 4 units. Unit 1 is Vedic mathematics, high speed addition and subtraction using those sutras without taking carryover or dot method, how to do these calculations. Unit 2 is about miracle multiplication and excellent division. Means you will be learning the tricks of faster calculations. Unit 3 is about lightning squares and rapid cubes. Unit 4 is about an algebra and geometry. So you can check the syllabus, what all workshops and practicals are listed. We'll be doing it in the practical session. And Vedic mathematics, this is part 1. There is Vedic mathematics part 2, part 3, and part 4. So you can study all these 4 parts in the first 4 semesters, where you need to choose one VAC. So no prerequisite is there. Anybody can study these papers. The level is very basic. It's just to develop logic and analytic thinking. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, from the Department of Sanskrit. The VAC paper being offered by the Department of Sanskrit in first semester is Yoga, Philosophy and Practice. Is there anyone from the Department of Sanskrit? Okay, I think they are not able to join. Okay. So I think all the departmental presentations have been covered. Students, please do fill the attendance and feedback form, which the link for which has been circulated in the chat box. Can you choose the same VAC paper in other semesters?
Yes,
No.
students, means okay, I'll tell you, you cannot study the same VAC paper. You cannot repeat the same VAC paper. But the pool, which we'll be offering to you in different semesters, may have some common papers. And we make sure that the one which are very popular are getting offered in each semester. So if you miss a VAC paper in first semester, you may choose it in the subsequent semesters. So suppose you are liking 3-4 VACs and you cannot study all in one semester, but in subsequent semesters, you will get a chance to study those papers. Okay, so choose your paper wisely. if you have any further queries, you can send us your queries in Q&A box. If you have studied a paper once, you cannot repeat it again. And I would recommend not to go for cluster for any VAC paper, at least, because these are all, value addition courses, and you need not to travel from this college to that college for these things. There are a total 26 VAC papers, and in the 4-semester span, we'll offer you almost all the VAC papers, and you will get a chance to study those papers. If we are not offering this semester, then definitely we'll try to offer in the subsequent semesters.
मैम बच्चा एक क्वेश्चन पूछा था, कैन यू चूज द सेम वैक पेपर इन अदर सेमेस्टर?
Yes, I have answered that question. If you have studied one VAC in this semester, then you cannot study it again. You have to choose a different title. But if there are parts, like I told you, Vedic Mathematics Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, Part 4, that ways you can do it. And for Part 2, you are eligible only if you have studied Part 1. For Part 3, you are eligible only you have studied 1 and 2. So you can make up your mind about it. And it is not compulsory to study all 4 parts. You can study 1, 2 part and then some other VACs.
Okay, so if there are no other queries, I think we can go ahead with the vote of thanks. I would
These
like
students fill in the attendance form and the feedback form. Your feedback is very important for us. Thank
Right.
you.
So I would like to thank our mentor, the principal, Professor V. Ravi, for his constant support and guidance in all these presentations that have been going for the GE papers, SEC papers, and VAC papers. And the IQAC of our college, who has always supported in initiating this idea and in carrying it forward for, the years now, when the NEP UGCF structure came into its existence. And I would also like to express my gratitude to our IQAC Criteria 1 coordinator, Dr. Deepti Jain, who has always been instrumental in, making us all, go ahead further in this direction. And she is always there with us all along, all throughout the presentations, and in any, way she can help us out. So thank you, ma'am. I would also like to thank all the Criteria 1 co-coordinators, Dr. Rekha Yadav, Dr. Chandrasekhar, Dr. Rajbir Kaur, Dr. Jhansi, who has been there as one team together and working to, help the students in any way we can. So, and I would also like to extend a very special thanks to our ICT team, the administrative staff, and all others who have helped us in, conducting these online sessions so that the students, they have, good informed choice. And when you're first semester students, you all the way, you need more of such presentations and orientation so that you can, make a very good informed choice regarding your paper, regarding your subject. So thank you so much, everyone. And thank you to all the participants, to all the fellow colleagues who have taken out time from their busy schedule, and they're always there to represent their department and give us the presentations and help the students in making a choice. And all the students who have joined, for this session today and in the previous 2 days also. So thank you so much, everyone.
Students, I once again want to emphasize that you will be getting your ERP credentials this weekend, and you log into the ERP portal. When you log in first time, you'll be prompted to change your password. Write down your new password somewhere safe. You'll be needing it again and again. And fill in your choices in order of preference very carefully. Once a paper is allocated, there will not be, mostly it is, there will not be any chance to change it because we are already late in starting the semester. So changing will further delay the semester. So that is why my request is to go through all the syllabus. All the syllabus are uploaded on the college website. Go through the entire list, go through the notice that you will find on the ERP portal, and then make a mindful choice. Thank you. Thank you very much.
can we have a group photograph of all the faculty members who are present here?
Yeah, sure.
Brahma sir, will you put your camera on for the group photograph? I think, yeah, sorry. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.